I see that one of the items on the agenda is to discuss having county commissioners, to discuss passing an ordinance to prohibit county commissioners from raising money for charities or for other candidates.
What?
We would only be able to raise money for ourselves during our re-elections.
What?
And as I read it, I think I first read it on the Sun Sentinel blog, and not believing much of what the newspapers say, I said this can't possibly be true. And then, of course, the agenda came out, and I read it, and it was as true as could have been reported by the Sun Sentinel, that one of my colleagues, Commissioner John Rodstrom, wants to prohibit county commissioners from raising money for charity or raising money for other candidates. And I was wondering what the callers out there think about that. I know we have a caller on the line who probably wants to talk about something else because he called before this conversation started, and you can reach us here at 877-850-8585 if you want to. I'd be interested to know what the public thinks about county commissioners not. You know, the city of Fort Lauderdale already prohibits this. They prohibit elected officials from raising money for charities. But county commissioners raise a lot of money for charities. I mean, every year there's a mayor's ball that raises almost seven figures sometimes for the United Way, for example. And the United Way just rolled out a new program called Project Lifeline for people who don't usually need food banks, who are going to the food banks because of how difficult the economy is. The county commission's trying to raise some money for that through the United Way. So I'm just wondering what, if anything, people would think about that. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Are they supportive of us not being able to raise money for charities? You know, I think about my colleagues.
I can't think of a positive reason why you would want to prevent somebody from raising money for charity.
Well, I know my colleague Sue Gunsberger is big in the Jewish Federation. I know she does their Super Sunday Federation drives a couple times a year where they get elected officials to sit in the Jewish Federation offices and make phone calls to raise money. And I don't even know, I'm going to ask this question on Tuesday, does that mean that Commissioner Gunsberger, for example, wouldn't, or would she not be allowed, or would any one of us not be allowed to say to you, for example, you, Aaron, if I came up to you and I said, you know, I really, don't you think that the United Way is a great charity? I gave some money. Wouldn't you like to do that? Would that be prohibited, just having a conversation with someone off the cuff?
Well, here's what's ridiculous. I was talking about this with somebody the other day. We were talking about, you know, the stories in the newspaper about you and the fact that you happen to know a guy named Mike Moskowitz and the county commission had, yeah, I mean, like, well, what is an elected official supposed to do? Live in a cave, not know anybody in the community, not be involved with anything in the community? I mean, the whole point of well, not the whole point, but one of the things you need to have when you're elected is someone who's out there and active, involved in the community, and charities would be part of that.
Well, I'm going to take the caller now, who I think wants to talk about something else, but I do want to get back to this, and I would like to know what the public out there thinks about this proposal. We would be prohibited from raising money for anyone who has, does, or would do business at the county commission. Now, how do I know who will, at some point in the future, do business at the county commission? Or if you just come because you want to complain about something, does that mean that you are doing business in front of the county commission if you happen to appear before us for your 3 minutes and complain because we cut bus routes or something?
Violation.
Anyway, let's go to the caller.